I need to talk about the mitochondria because, as I told you, everything on this planet revolves around the mitochondria. Somebody has been tampering with the mitochondria. Somebody has found a way to put the mitochondria to sleep. And this is the reason why we're in a coma as well. So let's talk about this coma so that we can start understanding what's really been going on. So again, this session is spawned from a question. So how do you give birth without a man? Say it in idiot terms. And again, I can't tell you as an idiot how to tap into your power, but you need to listen to this so that you can start tapping in. And again, it's going to be a long session. Get your popcorn because I'm going in deep. Okay, so somebody has been tampering with the mitochondria. Okay, I've gone through and explained to you what the mitochondria is. And I also need you to understand, as I've told you, everything in this planet has to do with the mitochondria. This is her dimension. I need you to also understand who Mother Nature is. Well, that's the mitochondria. Because what the mitochondria does is she regulates everything that comes into this dimension. The mitochondria has a contract, all right? So anything that's coming into this dimension, she is the one who ordains it. She says, okay, that's not supposed to be here. We're going to get rid of it. Okay, that can come in. Okay, come on in. But what has happened is somebody has tampered with the mitochondria. So the mitochondria ordains that things that come into this dimension, listen to me, and I know this is going to be upsetting, but this was originally a feminine planet. The things that are coming in here, she ordains it to be feminine. But somebody has come in and tampered with her to create beings that the mitochondria didn't ordain to be here. They've been tampering with her, and we're going to find out and see exactly how this tampering started. And again, I'm going to give you topics to look up, and you need to go and look them up. Do not believe a word I say. Hear me today and understand me tomorrow, and then apply it the day after tomorrow. Okay? So I need y'all to just pay attention. First thing I want to go into is, as I speak about how she's been tampered with and put into a coma, let's go into this and understand when she was put into a coma. So I'm going to put up here a yolk sac. As I said, the mitochondria was put into a coma. Now, what I'm showing up here on the screen is a yolk sac. All right. This is the formation of, in this case, this would be an embryo, a human embryo. It doesn't matter. They all look pretty much the same. But this is where she is put into a coma. All right. Now, what am I talking about? So what happens is when the fetus is being formed, around 2 weeks, there are cells that go into the yolk sac. All right. These cells end up being what I call giants. But you ever heard people talk about stem cells? If you've ever heard people talk about stem cells, and you know how they talk about, there was a fight years ago about when a woman aborts her fetus, or she has an abortion, there are these stem cells. Well, here's where they are. These are giants. They just cells. No, these are giants, because once these stem cells go in here, or these cells, basically they're just cells when they first go in, but the mitochondria ends up being put into a coma once this sac develops. I don't know what's in this sac. I don't know what the laws are for this sac, but at this time, she goes into a coma. The mitochondria does. She's inside of these cells that end up being stem cells. I'm going to go deeper into it. Like I said, pay attention. If you really want to tap into your powers, you must have knowledge. I'm giving you the knowledge here so that you can go and look it up for yourself. Okay. And this is for my brothers too. Okay. So at this point, around 2 weeks, these cells go in here and they become, the mitochondria within those cells become dormant. She's in a coma at this time. Now, I need y'all to remember, and again, I just gave you the topic, yolk sac. Look that up. Here's another thing that I want you to look up. The Book of Enki. All right. In the Book of Enki, you'll find the real story of what happened with Adam and Eve. And I'm gonna tap into that later, but this is, at this time, this is something being done according to my research. You see the Anunnaki coming in here and tampering with the mitochondria so that they can create a being on this planet. Now, go back to Adam and Eve. This tampering of the mitochondria has been done or going on since before the invent of the so-called human vessel. All right. So this tampering has been going on for quite some time. And this technology of putting the mitochondria into this yolk sac so that she can go to sleep. Why do they do that? Well, they do that because they need to be able to put her to sleep so that they can bring entities into this dimension that are not ordained by the mitochondria. What am I talking about? A human vessel is a hybrid vessel. Hybrid beings are not supposed to procreate. All right. Now, let's understand. Remember when Adam and Eve were in the garden, and now, according to the Bible, it's telling you, well, Adam and Eve was in the Bible, and then God put Adam to sleep and took a rib from Adam and created Eve, which is scientifically impossible. And it didn't happen that way. This is why I told you, go and look up the Book of Enki, because they tell you the truth about what the Bible is not. And I told y'all how the Bible has got rewritten stories in it. Well, why do they rewrite it? So that they can copyright it. All right. But if you want to know the facts, then you got to do some digging. You got to do some research. Go look in the Book of Enki, and it really tells you what happened during that time. During that time, Adam and Eve were in the garden and they were having sex. You know how they talk about the watchers? The watchers were watching Adam and Eve. Well, Enki was watching and he was noticing, well, they having sex, but Eve is not getting pregnant. Well, what's going on? So remember, Adam or Enki had a son. Enki had a son called Ningujita, but you all know of Ningujita as Thoth, Thoth. Well, Thoth was the one who had the knowledge about how the DNA works. He understood how the mitochondria works. So yeah, they were having sex, and yeah, Adam might have been spraying seed into Eve, but the mitochondria, oh, she was regulating. She was like, no, I didn't ordain this. This is not right. This is not going to happen. Pay attention. Pay attention. You want your powers back, you got to have knowledge.